Welcome back to the Explainer. Now, if you caught our previous analysis, you know we just mapped out the department popularity across 17 top-tier schools. We looked at the absolute national giants, Taiwan University, Chengchi, NYCU, NCKU, and Tsinghua. We also covered major regional and specialized players like Central, NTNU, Taipei University, Taipei Medical, Chengxing, Chengqing, Sun Yat-sen, Changhua, Kaohsiung Medical, Taipei University of Education, National University of Kaohsiung, and Changgung University. Phew, that was a lot. But today we are enthusiastically zooming in for a focused, data-driven tour of Soochow University. We're going to compare its departments directly against those 17 heavyweight institutions to see exactly where Soochow stands and how its trends are shifting right now. We've got a really packed agenda today. We're hitting 6 sections: evaluation metrics, law and business, humanities and social sciences, the AI language impact, science trends, and we'll wrap up with a summary and a quick note on the music department. Let's get right into it. Section 1, Evaluation Metrics, Decoding the Data.
Okay, so first things first, how do we actually measure popularity here? We use a specific formula. It's the geometric mean of the fill rate and the inverse of the rank order. What does that actually mean for us? Well, rank order tells us how many students pass that first screening. So a smaller number means it's much harder to get in. Combine that with the fill rate, which is basically the percentage of eligible students nationwide who actually put this specific department on their preference list, and boom, we get a true objective measure of real-world student demand.
Now, as we dive into the data, you might immediately ask yourself a question. You might think, hold on, why do Soochow's numbers look a little low? We absolutely have to address the elephant in the room before we go any further.
The context here is absolutely crucial. Soochow's numbers only look lower because they are exclusively fighting in a heavyweight data set. They are going toe-to-toe against schools like NTU and NCKU. Countless regional public schools and similar private universities were completely excluded from this data set. So it's not that Soochow isn't popular, it's just that they're being compared against the top tier. In reality, Soochow's popularity among all the hundreds of departments nationwide is still very much in the upper echelons.
Section 2. Law and business, the traditional powerhouses.
This is where things get really fascinating. Look at how Soochow Law actually outpaces several national universities. With a popularity index of 0.001545 and ranking 179th overall, it comfortably beats out the law departments of National Chengxing University, National Chengcheng University, and even parts of Taipei University. When it comes to the legal profession, Soochow is without a doubt the undisputed top choice among private universities. Over the last 4 years, we are seeing massive internal growth for the law department, and that's largely fueled by their incredibly strong alumni network in public service. Think lawyers and judges. This resilience stands incredibly strong even against Taiwan's demographic declines. But in contrast, the famous Soochow accounting department actually saw a slight dip. Why? Well, it's pretty clear that the rise of AI, automation, and big data analytics is pushing some students away from traditional accounting and straight toward data sciences. Taking a look at these core business degrees, business administration and economics are seeing what we'd call micro-growth. These are generalist degrees, right? And in uncertain economic times, students really gravitate toward that broad flexibility. On the other hand, international business dips slightly. This perfectly reflects how global supply chains and trade technologies are heavily shifting right now. Conversely, we have these tech-adjacent business degrees facing a massive magnetic pull. Despite having a dedicated AI group, Soochow's information management and financial actuarial math departments are feeling serious pressure from top national engineering schools, places like Tsinghua and NYCU, who are just aggressively promoting semiconductor and pure engineering education. Section 3. Humanities and Social Sciences, Impact and Resilience. Driven by modern society's focus on things like elder care, the wealth gap, and mental health, these fields are maintaining steady, practical demand. But what's truly incredible here is the sociology department. With a very high index of 0.000692, it remarkably beats out many national university humanities programs. It's growing largely thanks to a long-standing reputation for both academic rigor and real-world social practice. Looking at the rest of the humanities, history is doing something really smart. They're creatively utilizing digital humanities to stay relevant, and it's resulting in actual growth. However, political science shares a structural job market squeeze identical to what we saw previously in NCKU's politics department. Meanwhile, Chinese literature and philosophy are facing some serious downward pressure as pure humanities fields are forced to compete in an incredibly tech-heavy job market. Section 4. The AI language impact, a macroeconomic shift. So this is wild. Every single pure language department here, English, Japanese, and German, is experiencing a downward trend in popularity over the 4-year span. Literally all of them. And the reason is totally clear across the entire educational landscape. Artificial intelligence and tools like ChatGPT are actively threatening pure language degrees. This macro trend is forcing students nationwide, even at top schools like NTU and Chengchi, to combine language skills with hard professional disciplines, rather than just solely majoring in a foreign language. It's all about the discipline plus language combo now.
Section 5. Science Trends, Navigating the Tech Boom.
While chemistry saw a slight bump, foundational sciences like physics and math faced that familiar magnetic pull from the dedicated STEM colleges at the national universities. But here's an interesting one. Unique programs like Soochow's highly distinct microbiology department are actually struggling. Why? Well, it turns out the biotech job market in Taiwan is currently being heavily squeezed by high-paying, licensed medical, dental, and veterinary professions. This unfortunately leads to lower starting salaries for pure biology graduates.
Section 6. Summary and Music, the Big Picture.
Before we conclude, there is one massive caveat we gotta mention. Soochow's highly prestigious music department, which is a traditional powerhouse for the university, isn't on these charts. This is simply because art-based practical exams completely defy objective statistical comparison with traditional academic subjects. It's just impossible to fit them into the strict quantitative popularity model, so we had to leave them out of the ranking. So, pulling it all together, as Taiwan faces severe demographic declines with fewer students each year, does Soochow have what it takes to survive? The data says absolutely yes. Their prime geographic advantage being located in Taipei, combined with their legendary, unshakable legal and business reputations, creates a really powerful defensive moat. They are holding their ground incredibly well against the national giants. But the question I want to leave you with is this. As AI continues to completely reshape the job market, will Soochow's humanities and language departments be able to pivot fast enough to leverage that Taipei advantage? Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and as always, keep asking the right questions about the data.